Hello, English 1A scholars. So it's 3.05 graded assignment time, and I've given you two options. You can do the first one, which is going to be much easier, or you can make it more challenging for yourself, which is about true happiness. You can do the second one, which is about the lyrics, of the Star Spangled Banner versus the painting that it was inspired by. So if you like doing themes or if you like looking at lyrics and trying to decipher how they're similar to paintings, it's up to you on what you want to do. But seeing that the happiness one is the easiest one, we're going to start there. Round one. All right. So what you've got to do is you need to use the evidence from the different mediums to analyze how they express true happiness, compare and contrast each. What does both have in common? How do they treat it differently? And what is one thing from each that the other does not show, do, etc.? So we look at the question and we actually are going to highlight those keywords so we know what we're looking for. So what do we need to do? We need to analyze. What are we analyzing? How these two mediums express true happiness. And then we're going to be comparing and contrasting each one of these. Okay? So, you can, if you want to challenge yourself more, you can add another different medium to the analyzation. But remember, it's got to be a different medium. So if you choose a text, you have to choose something that's maybe got a picture, or it's a movie, or it's a sculpture that's on the same topic. You can also challenge yourself and find two different mediums of your own on the theme of true happiness. Or if you have another theme that you would like to do, just make sure to get it approved by me to analyze instead. So let's assume you're just going to go with the meet expectation. All right, first we have the medium of Calvin and Hobbes. And we've got, what do you think is the meaning of true happiness? Is it money, cars, and women? Or is it just money and cars? Well, and you look at the tiger here, and he's over here just kind of looking at him, but then he looks perplexed. He's very confused and just walks away. So what do you think that's saying about his idea of true happiness? Does he agree? Does he disagree? And then we've got this cool poem here. It's Worst Day Ever by Channy Gorkin. Today was the absolute worst day ever, and don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day, because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be attained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure that you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say, today was a very good day. Now, read it from the bottom to the top, the other way, and see what I really felt about my day. Today was a very good day, and you'll never in a million years hear me say it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be attained because it's all in the mind and heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if this world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. So, looking at this, what can you assume about true happiness from the author? What do they have in common? They're both talking about true happiness. They do it in two separate ways. That's what we're analyzing. All right, so down here we have the same highlights that we had before. So that way we can create our thesis statement. So what I did is I took the major pieces of what's important in here on what we are doing, and I put it into a statement. True happiness is expressed in two different mediums, right? Because it's different mediums analyzing the expressing of true happiness. And we're going to compare and contrast, but we don't have to say that in the thesis statement because we're already saying that this is what we're looking at. All right, then you look at how they are alike. So you're going to finish this statement with the evidence. You don't even have to add more because you're just saying how they show true happiness. So in the first medium of evidence, what did you see in it that showed true happiness? And this one, what did you see or read in the poem that showed true happiness? You can use a quote or summarize. Same as on the first one. Then whenever it comes to how is it different, do a quote of evidence on the difference that you saw within the comic strip versus the poem. And do not use that it is a comic strip or it's pictures and the other has words. That's a duh. We already know that, right? So we want to really dive deep. How is it showing it differently about true happiness? I've already given you your in-text citation, and then you complete this statement. This is different from the second medium because, and explain why this quote makes it different from the poem. And then you do the same thing for the poem. So a quote or evidence here that shows it's different from the comic strip, in-text citation is given, and then complete the statement. This is different from the first medium because why? Tell me why this makes it different than the comic strip. And then you're going to restate the thesis statement. One of the easiest ways to do this is to put it either into different words or in a different order. So we look at true happiness as expressed in two different mediums. Well, true happiness is the first noun phrase that we discuss. Why don't we change it up and talk about the two different mediums first and true happiness afterwards? That would work. Or you can say these two sources are different in how they express true happiness. However it is you want to flip it around or rearrange it, put it in a different order to say what this was about. You can also summarize what was important about what you just said. All right, so reminder, if you choose to do a medium, add a medium or change both of the mediums that you were given, make sure to choose two separate mediums, one with a text, the other without, or that the text is not the only thing that describes true happiness in the source, kind of like we did with the comic strip versus the poem. Make sure to change the outline to suit your needs. So that means that you may need to add a third evidence here. You may need to add a number 5 saying how the third medium is different. And make sure to update the in-text citation. So that means that whoever the author was, you're going to use either his last name or the title of the piece if there's no author given, and use that as your in-text citation for any added or changed out sources. And then all you do is you literally have to copy and paste. So I can literally go in here and I would copy this and paste it here. And then right after it, I'm going to paste the next one. So this both mediums, there. Go up, do the quote, paste it here, paste the Watterson and put it between, put the new quote, put the in-text citation. So literally you're just copying and pasting in order of what you did up here into a paragraph and making sure, of course, that things like the punctuation and spelling are correct, that it makes sense and it flows correctly whenever you read it. But that's it. All she wrote. So easy breezy. And of course, if you need help, open help is available whenever we get back from break. If you're watching this before break, there's only open help on Thursday, but there will be chances for one-on-ones. So if you need one before we leave for winter break, reach out to me. You can use the phone, you can email, you can Skype. I'm here for you. I'll help you take care of it. If for some reason you haven't gotten it done by the end of winter break and you want to reach out whenever we get back, that would be fine as well. But what I suggest is at least make an attempt. We can work from what you had, if needed, to improve it. And just keep up the efforts, guys. You got this. You can do it.